Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond for our Sunday worship service. Whether you are joining us online or are here in person in this amazing overflow sanctuary, we are glad you chose to be part of our community. My name is Frank Corsaro, and I serve as a member of the board at First UU. I'm an older-looking, youngish white male, wearing glasses, sporting a white goatee that is hanging in there much better than my thinning head of white hair. I'm wearing a warm and comforting dark blue sweater, adorned with 3 multicolored beaded necklaces, one of which serving as a lanyard. I bought these as part of the young adult fundraiser to help them attend General Assembly this June in Baltimore. I hope going forward we hear more about their experiences both before and after General Assembly. So back to the business at hand. We gather as Unitarian Universalists to affirm our values and principles, which seem to be under attack and even ridiculed in some segments of our society. We believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. We believe these things make the world a better place and should be aspired to, and that it should be policy. We also believe the word woke, which is used to refer to social and political issues affecting African Americans and other marginalized communities, is not a pejorative. It does not reside in the dictionary along other four-letter words. To quote American actress and activist Jane Fonda, woke just means you give a damn about other people. So let's stay in conversation. Let's stay in the game. Let's be advocates and allies for justice. And perhaps our young adults for the next fundraiser can sell buttons that say, DEI, give it a try. Or I'm woke, how about you? Or perhaps I should just stay in my lane. The young adults have proven to be far more innovative and creative than I am. I'm just happy to be with you here today and hope we all enjoy the service.
I'm going to invite Ginger Clark forward. All my stuff. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ginger Clark. My pronouns are she, her, and I serve on your Leadership Development Committee. Today I'm wearing a dark blue knit sweater, black pants. I'm a middle-aged, light-skinned white woman with straight brown hair and chunky jewelry, which I, of course, purchased at Gallery. So today I get to, once again, do my favorite part of our work on the LDC, which is to recognize a longtime member of our congregation by presenting the Ian M. Finlayson Service Award. The Service Award is given each quarter to a church member who has made outstanding volunteer contributions over a sustained period of time or through a special project. For her decades of dedicated volunteer service in a myriad of ways, please join me in congratulating Rachel Lawrence. All right, so now this is the friendly roast. Rachel became a member of First UU in 1991 when she moved here from Wilmington, Delaware. Her most recent efforts have involved being a gallery director and serving as a lay pastoral care co-chair on the communications and auction publicity teams and with the Welcoming Congregation effort. She has also volunteered as a youth group advisor, coordinated the Souls to the Polls event as part of the 100% voting congregation, and done publicity for Living the Pledge. Are you tired yet? A great testimony to Rachel's character comes from Courtney Howarth. She said, Rachel was one of the very first people I met at First UU, and she truly made me feel welcome and wanted in a time when I needed it most. She showed a genuine interest in getting to know me, which led me to get involved in gallery publicity and church communications. The more I get to know Rachel, I see her living our UU values and leading by example. I admire her service to multiple areas of our church community and honestly don't know how she does it all. Rob Targos continues these accolades, stating that working with Rachel has been a wonderful experience. From the communications committee to gallery, Rachel has always been direct, respectful, and collaborative in our teamwork. She is highly organized and patient, as I have worked with her to understand not only the tasks, but the mission of the church. She has also given me great insight into the history and some of the previous difficulties as we continue to move forward into the future. She has vast levels of knowledge and takes great care to deliver her message with graciousness. Beth Miksovic, Rachel's longtime friend and gallery partner in crime, said, First UU has been the lucky recipient of much of Rachel's time since she semi-retired from teaching. I've been amazed at all the activities that Rachel has taken on, bringing her ownership, organizing talent, and list-making to all her endeavors. When I was a board member, Rachel was nominated for appreciation 4 months in a row for 4 different activities. One example of Rachel's creative abilities and committed effort is that she created and maintains the gallery website, saving us substantial costs. Rachel also has a talent for leading people, building up the publicity committee to a team of 5, and working collaboratively with them to complete the mission. When asked about Rachel's other volunteer efforts, Leanne Luskin said that Rachel's commitment to our youth is a beautiful thing to witness. She is a warm and comforting presence for them, and she shares tons of practical wisdom about this time in their lives from her many years supporting high school students. I've also had the delight of working alongside Rachel on our twice-yearly Buy Nothing days, where her organizational skills, good humor, and generous spirit shine. I'm so grateful for Rachel's presence in our community and the infinite ways she contributes her gifts. Reverend Amy continued, a lot of people had a lot of nice things to say about Rachel. After becoming a lay pastoral care associate 2 years ago, we asked Rachel to step forward as co-chair a year ago. Rachel has brought her caring, thoughtful nature to our circle, offering her leadership as an example of shared ministry. When we are considering an issue together, Rachel often asks that one insightful question that allows us to look deeper. Her commitment to our community, as well as to the broader social justice arena, is an inspiring example of putting one's faith into action. Margaret Rush, as always, gets the last word. And it's this one, huge. That's how she described Rachel's many important contributions, especially in the area of church communications. In the past couple years, Rachel has helped expand our newsletter communications, website revisions, social media, and gallery publicity. Margaret said, Rachel truly embodies giving her time and considerable talent to all of us, and I'm very grateful, as are we all. Rachel, in recognition of your deep commitment to service and leadership in this community, we present you with a gift chalice made by church member Nancy Pratt as the March 2025 recipient of the Ian M. Finlayson Service Award. I'm going to put this in here for you.
Now I'm going to cry. Thank you, everybody. Oh, my goodness. You know, it is a cliche, but it is so true. You know, what I give, I receive back tenfold. You know, this church is my family. You have seen me through, you know, the births of my children, the deaths of my parents, my divorce, my finding love again, my challenges through my teaching career, and my blossoming through my retirement. And I truly appreciate the support you all give me as well. Thank you.
Good morning. Again. My name is Kirsten Fritz, and I am the ministerial intern here at First UU. To increase accessibility and inclusivity in today's worship service, I'm sharing a little bit about myself. I am a light beige white woman in my 40s. I have chin-length, straight, light brown hair with a gray streak and clear-framed glasses. I use she, her pronouns, and today I'm wearing a blue dress with bright blue and green designs on it. My worship associate this morning is Leanne Luskin. Our special music today is by the Youth Ensemble, led by our Director of Worship, Jamie Kilpatrick. Okay. Our song leaders are Bari Ramsey, Hayat Bain, Judith Alexander, and Joanna Walker. I'd also like to thank our tech crew, Eric B., Eric G., and Jim, who make all the logistics possible. It is our custom, It is our custom to open a service by welcoming our visitors. If you are a visitor this morning and it's your first or second time and you feel comfortable identifying yourself, please raise your hand and wait for Jamie to come around with the microphone. When she reaches you, please tell us your name and where you are visiting from today.
Good morning. Hi, my name is Laura Schrank, and this is my daughter.
Hi, I'm Eliana.
And we are actually visiting here from Annapolis, Maryland. We're here for our dance competition, but we go to the Unitarian Universalist Church in Annapolis, so we just wanted to come check out a service here since she doesn't dance till 2:30 today.
Welcome.
Good morning. My name's Andrea Sled, and I'm here with my daughter Nell, Simon, and my husband Will, and we are here from all the way from Glen Allen.
Welcome.
The cellist, right? What's up, man? Oh, that's how I know. Of the VCU Health. Sorry, I do music with that dude. And he's like, woo!
Hi, everybody. I'm Leanne Washington, former ministerial intern here. I am now the settled minister at the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills, which is just north of Pittsburgh. And I maintain a home in Whitestone, Virginia. Those of you who knew me when I was an intern here, you know that I was commuting from Whitestone to here for my internship. And so I come back quite frequently, and for whatever reason, Reverend Sherman agreed to have lunch with me today. So I thought it was only fair and a great opportunity to just come by and see how everybody's doing. So thank you for the warm welcome this morning. A lot of people came up to me before, and that was really very sweet. Thank you.
Welcome.
You want to?
Good morning. My name is Shelley Worsham, and I'm visiting here today with my father, George Bowser, and my sons, Jacob and Luke. I felt very welcome. You guys will hear about me a little bit more when I get up a little bit later on in service, but thank you guys, and I'm glad to be here.
Welcome. Anyone else? So now that we've all been introduced, please turn and greet your neighbor.
Good morning. My name is Leanne Luskin. I use she, her pronouns. I am your Director of Lifespan Faith Formation. I have the honor of serving the children and youth and families at this church. Today is our monthly multi-generational service, so we have all ages in here with us today, and the sound of our young people under the music was just perfect to me, so it feels like such a gift and a blessing to have our young people here in service with us. I am a 45-year-old white woman. I have long, wavy-ish, red-ish hair that I'm wearing down today. I have on a black top and a black and white keffiyeh scarf to show my love for the people of Palestine. Our call to worship this morning comes from Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto. This is Blessed Are the Hungry. I know that you are hungry for justice, and sometimes when you fail, it feels like the times when you open the refrigerator door, look inside, and close it, nothing having met your appetite. But there is always trying again. There is the fact that one just act is the beginning, and together we can build another. The gnawing hunger for a different future is one that we feed in the present. Your diligence, your tenacity, your willingness to learn, not just know, but also do hunger shaping how you nourish, feeding one another with the long spoons of your compassion, until you're strong enough to feed the part of the world that you can reach. And now I'd like to invite up the Kutcha family. We have Sam and Alex and Sage and Iris to help us do our chalice lighting.
Good morning. Our chalice lighting is The Sturdy Flame by Reverend Julian Lamb. We light this chalice with hope, a sturdy flame we nurture in these difficult times. We light this chalice with a heart of compassion for a nation divided by politics and strife. We light this chalice knowing that it will take all of us to repair this world we live in. We may find rest, compassion, and the hope that we need to nurture ourselves and each other. May this sturdy light remind us of the people we can be and the difference we can make in the world together.
Thank you. And now I invite you to rise in body or spirit for hymn 325. You can find that in the gray hymnal. We're going to do verses 1 through 3. This is Love Makes a Bridge.
Love makes a bridge from heart to heart and hand to hand. Love makes a bridge from heart to heart and hand to hand. Love finds a way when laws are blind and freedom banned. Love finds a way when laws are blind and freedom banned.
Love makes a bridge from heart to heart.
And I'd like to invite up Shelley Worsham. This is our Share the Plate for this month, Soar and Elevate. Welcome.
Security and promoting resilience. Since our establishment, we've taken meaningful steps to help those in need. We've collaborated with Caritas to bring meals to the homeless. We've provided hundreds of hygiene kits to families to help maintain health and dignity, and organized toy drives that have brightened holidays for many children. These initiatives are the heart of our mission to create lasting change in Richmond. Every act of support from your contribution is vital to our efforts. By standing with us, you are ensuring that every family, every child, and every individual has the opportunity to experience hope and a better tomorrow. Thank you so much for your generosity and for being a vital part of our community towards a more caring and supportive future. Thank you.
And our ushers will be coming around with baskets if you have a physical donation. Thank you, Miles, for being our junior usher this morning. And then you will also find other ways you can give electronically or by mail on the screen. And the offering will now be taken and very gratefully received. Thank you. And now, because this is our multi-generational service, we have a time for all ages. We have a story to offer you. If you are young or young at heart, or you just like to color, you're invited to come join us on the steps up to the chancel. We have some color places you can sit, and there are coloring sheets and various media to do your artwork. I I see some of my favorite faces this morning. Good morning, good morning. You're one, yep. There's a whole bunch of my favorite faces. All right, can everyone hear me all right? Yeah? Okay. The story I have to share this morning it's a classic. You might have heard of it before. It's called The Little Engine That Could. Has anyone not heard this story before? You've heard of it. That counts. Okay. Yeah. All right. You have. Fantastic. Sometimes the classics can be so soothing, and there's always a little something new in there too. So here we go. Chug, chug, chug. Puff, puff, puff. Ding dong, ding dong. A little train rumbled over the tracks. She was a happy little train, for she had such a jolly load to carry. Her cars were filled with good things for little children. There were toy animals, giraffes with long necks, teddy bears with almost no necks at all, and even a baby elephant. And then there were dolls with blue eyes and yellow curls, dolls with brown eyes and brown curls, and the sweetest little toy clown you ever saw. And there were cars full of toy planes, tops, puzzles, books, and every kind of thing children could want. But that wasn't all. Some of the cars were filled with all sorts of good things for children to eat. There were big golden oranges and red-cheeked apples, bottles of... I don't know if there was a Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure. I hear you. Bottles of creamy milk for their breakfasts, fresh spinach for their dinners, peppermint drops, and lollipops for after-meal treats. That little train was carrying all these good things to the good little children on the other side of the mountain. And she puffed along happily until all of a sudden, she stopped with a jerk. She simply could not go another inch. She tried and she tried, but her wheels just wouldn't turn. What were all those good little children on the other side of the mountain going to do without jolly toys to play with and wholesome foods to eat? Ooh, the little clown saw and said, "Here comes a shiny new engine." And he jumped out of the train and said, "We should ask him to help us." So all the dolls and the toys cried out together, "Please, shiny new engine, do carry our train over the mountain. Our engine has broken down, and the children on the other side will have no toys to play with and no wholesome food to eat unless you help us." But the shiny new engine snorted, "I pull you. I am a passenger engine. I have just carried a fine, big train over the mountain with more cars than you ever dreamed of. My train had sleeping cars with cozy berths, a dining car where waiters bring hungry people whatever they want to eat, and parlor cars in which people sit in soft armchairs and look out of big plate glass windows. I carry the likes of you all? Indeed not." He could have just said no, right? And off he steamed to the roundhouse where engines live when they are not busy. How sad the little train and all the dolls and toys felt. And then the little clown said to them all, "That passenger train is not the only one in the world. Here comes another, a fine, big, strong one. Let's ask him to help us." So that little toy clown waved his flag, and the big, strong engine came to a stop. "Please, oh, please, big engine," cried all the dolls and toys together, "do pull our train over the mountain. Our engine has broken down, and the good little children on the other side will have no toys to play with and no wholesome food to eat unless you help us." But that big, strong engine bellowed, "I am a freight engine. I have just pulled a big train loaded with very expensive machines over the mountain. These machines print books and newspapers for very serious grown-ups to read. I am a very important engine indeed, and I will not be carrying the likes of you." Ouch. And he puffed off indignantly to the roundhouse. And the little train and all the dolls and toys were really sad. "Cheer up," cried the little toy clown. "The freight engine is not the only one in the world. Here comes another. He looks very old and tired, but our train is really little, so maybe he can help us." So the little toy clown waved his flag, and the dingy, rusty old engine stopped. "Please, kind engine," cried all the dolls and toys together, "do pull our train over the mountain. Our engine is broken down, and the children on the other side will have no toys and no wholesome food to eat unless you help us." But that rusty old engine sighed. "I'm so tired. I must rest my weary wheels. I cannot pull even so little a train as yours over the mountain. I cannot. I cannot. I cannot." And off he rumbled to the roundhouse, chugging, "I cannot. I cannot. I cannot." Then indeed the little train was very, very sad, and all the dolls and toys were ready to cry. But the little clown called out, "Ooh, here comes another engine. A little blue engine, a very little one, but perhaps she will help us." That very little engine came chug-chugging merrily along, and when she saw that clown's flag, she stopped quickly. "What is the matter, my friends?" she asked kindly. "Oh, little blue engine," cried the dolls and toys, "will you pull us over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the good little children on the other side will have no Nintendo Switch to play with and no wholesome food to eat unless you help us. Please, please, please help us, little blue engine." "Well, I'm not very big," said the little blue engine. "They use me only for switching in the yard. I have never even been over the mountain." "But we must get over the mountain before the children awake," said all the dolls and toys. That very little engine looked up and saw the tears in the doll's eyes. And she thought of those good little children on the other side of the mountain. And she said, do you know what she said? Tell me. "I think I can. I think I can. I think I can." And she hitched herself to the little train. She tugged and pulled and pulled and tugged, and slowly, slowly, slowly they started off. And that toy clown jumped aboard, and all the dolls and toy animals began to smile and cheer. Puff, puff, chug, chug went that little blue engine. "I think I can. I think I can. You want to help me? I think I can. 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 I think I can." Up, 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 faster and faster and faster, the little engine climbed until at last they reached the top of the mountain. And down in the valley lay the city. "Hooray! Hooray!" cried the little clown and all the dolls and the toys. "The good little children in the city will be happy because you helped us, little blue engine." And the little blue engine smiled and seemed to say as she puffed steadily down the mountain, "I thought I could. I thought I could. I thought I could. I thought I could." Thank you for listening and helping. That was great. You are welcome to hang out here and work on your coloring, or you can join your families back at your seats. If you are part of the youth music ensemble, now's your time to shine. You can go join Miss Jamie. Thanks, everyone.
We are free to be.
are bringing change. We are making peace. When we are helping, we can be our best. When we are loving, hurt is put to rest. Both in our helping and in our healing, we are bringing change. We are making peace.
Let us enter a time of meditation and prayer. Please find a place to be comfortable in your seats. You could close your eyes or soften your gaze. And we're going to take some deep breaths together. We're going to breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. And we're going to breathe in the semi-quiet. This Act of Faith by Reverend Gretchen Halley. What's going to happen? Will everything be okay? What can I do? In these days, we find ourselves too often stuck with these questions on repeat. What's going to happen? Will everything be okay? What can I do? We grasp at signs and markers, articles of news and analysis, Facebook memes and forwarded emails as if the new zodiac, capable of forecasting all that life may yet bring our way. As if we could prepare, as if life had ever made any promises of making sense or turning out the way we thought. As if we are not also actors in this still unfolding story. For this hour, we gather to surrender to the mystery, to release ourselves from the needing to know, the yearning to already have it all figured out. And also the burden of believing we either have all of the control or none at all. Here in our song and our silence, our stories and our sharing, we make space for a new breath, a new healing, a new possibility to take root. That is courage forged in the light of our coming together and felt in the spirit that comes alive in this act of faith, that we believe still a new world is possible, that we are creating it already, here and now. Please remain seated for our meditation hymn, number 194 in the gray hymnal, Faith is a Forest. During this time of political upheaval, many of us are becoming increasingly worried about the future of our country. We are afraid of what will happen in a political climate that goes against our faith's love ethic. And we are frightened for the safety of those we care about. Today, I want to explore a well-known Bible story about a religious minority living under the threat of empire and facing a devastating future. The book of Esther is a short story in the Hebrew Bible. It is an etiology, a explanation for the Jewish festival of Purim, which is March 13th and 14th this year. The story was written after the Jews were exiled to Babylonia. In 538 BCE, the Persians conquered Babylonia and gave the Jews permission to return to Israel. Some returned, but many stayed in Mesopotamia, where their families had built new lives for themselves. The story of Esther is set in the royal court of Persia. It is a diaspora literature which describes living as a Jew under foreign empire. Mordecai is a Jewish man who lives and works in the fortress of the king of Persia. He is Esther's cousin and foster father. When Esther is selected to become the next queen of Persia, Mordecai warns her not to reveal that she is a Jew or that she is related to Mordecai. Now, this seems unlikely in reality, but it is an important plot point. Mordecai makes a dangerous enemy when he refuses to bow down to Haman because he only wants to bow down to his God. And Haman is the king's right-hand man, so he is very powerful. In revenge, Haman comes up with a plot to kill all of the Jews in the Persian Empire. Haman manipulates the king into signing a decree to massacre all of the Jews on the 13th day of the 12th month. When they hear the news, all of the Jews are terrified and grieving. Mordecai puts on sackcloth and ashes and stands at the palace gate in protest. Queen Esther doesn't really know what's happening, so she sends one of her servants out to talk to Mordecai and find out what's going on. Mordecai sends a message back asking Esther to go to the king and plead for her people. Now, this is the pivotal moment in the story. Their world is on fire. Their people are in grave danger, and Mordecai is calling on Esther to do something about it, to move beyond grief and paralysis of fear and take action. So the first thing Esther does is assess her risks and consider her strategy. Esther replies to Mordecai's request with, quote, "All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces know that if any man or woman goes to the king inside the inner court without being called, there is but one law. All alike are to be put to death. Only if the king holds out the golden scepter to someone may that person live. I myself have not been called to come into the king for 30 days. So the king has like this private room that you're not allowed to go into, and if you break the rules, you get killed, essentially. So while Esther has supposedly some access to the king, seeking him out in this way places her in considerable danger. But she can't wait another 30 days to see if the king will call on her. So what about you? What are your risks and vulnerabilities? What parts of your identity make you more vulnerable? Everyone has to do their own risk assessment in a time like this. What are you willing and able to risk in the fight for justice? Now, Mordecai counters Esther's concerns. He says, quote, "Do not think that in the king's palace you will escape any more than all the other Jews." Mordecai is telling Esther that her privilege will not save her. As the queen, Esther lives in a palace, has fine clothes, and attends sumptuous banquets. Her needs are more than met. She has wealth and some influence with the king and courtiers. But all of Esther's advantages will not save her when her identity is outlawed. Each of us lives in a complex web of advantages and disadvantages. Some of us may be like Esther and have enough privilege that we could weather the coming trials and tribulations. But as Unitarian Universalists, we know that we are deeply interconnected and interdependent. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. It is not enough to stay safe and hide behind our privilege. We have to use it to make a difference in the world. That's what Mordecai challenges Esther to do. He tells her, quote, "Who knows? Perhaps you have come to royal dignity for just such a time as this." Perhaps Esther has been put in this position, given this privilege, this power, just so she can use it to save her people. So what about you? What about me? What is our privilege? What is our power, our gifts? What is the one or two things that you can do really well? How can you use that? To really drive home his message, Mordecai makes it personal to Esther. Quote, "For if you keep silent at such a time as this, relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews from another quarter, but you and your father's family will perish." Mordecai is a member of Esther's father's family. He's saying that even if all of the other Jews are saved, he and Esther will die if she doesn't take action. That's pretty personal, a pretty personal threat. While some of us risk more than others when we stand up for the values of our faith, we don't necessarily face death every time. Even for those who are privileged enough that we do not have to approach the work of justice as a matter of life and death for us personally, there is value in thinking about how we can make the work of justice deeply personal for ourselves. When work is personal, it gives us greater courage and fortitude to keep going during hard times. And there are too many areas of injustice that need our support for every one of us to do everything. We must choose where to put our efforts. Some things may be too tender or too close to home for you personally. So each of us needs to ask ourselves, what touches my heart deeply but doesn't incapacitate me? That is the work that I need to do. Now convinced, Esther calls on her community for support as she prepares to take action. Quote, "Go gather all the Jews to be found in Susa and hold a fast on my behalf, and neither eat nor drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my maids will also fast as you do." Now, 3 days is a really long time. That's also probably dramatic flair, right? But acting together, performing the same rituals in solidarity with one another, renews the ties of community and reinforces Esther's Jewish identity. As we engage in the work of justice, where will you go to find support? What communities will you identify with, which will strengthen your resolve and support your resilience? Of course, this church can be one of those places. And you will need other communities and relationships of support. And wouldn't it be amazing if we could draw all of those communities into connection with each other? Where will you find people who care about the same issues you care about and who are motivated to work for justice? What connections and networks do you already have that you hadn't thought about connecting before? So with all of her preparations made, Esther takes action. She puts on her royal robes and stands in the inner court of the king's palace. As soon as he sees her, now this is the moment she's terrified. She's standing there. This could go well, or she could be dead in the next few minutes. But as soon as he sees her, the king holds out his golden scepter. Whew, that's a relief, right? Okay, this is going to be all right. So then Esther uses her power and privilege that she has strategically. She has access to fine clothes, apartments, and food, as well as the king's favor. So she does a strategic relationship building and invites both the king and Haman to a feast in her apartments. She gets them there and she's feeding them and she's trying to work up the courage to say something, and she totally chickens out the first time. And that is okay. Many of us don't get it right the first time. But she tries again. She holds a whole second feast. They're even more excited about it because the first one went so well, and so everyone's a little bit more inclined to, well, not Haman, but the king's more inclined to give her what she wants. So at the second feast, Esther reveals to the king that she is a Jew and convinces him to save her people. Unfortunately, the law will not allow him to rescind his own order. But Esther perseveres and gets the king to make a decree that the Jews have permission to defend themselves. When the day of the massacre comes, the Jews become the victors even though they are a minority. It is that victory and the story of Esther that is celebrated in the festival of Purim. For Esther, walking into the king's private space unsummoned was daring and potentially deadly. For us, placing our bodies or our ideas in places where we are needed, but we are not invited, also takes courage. We cannot wait for an invitation. Each of us needs to prepare ourselves for this time. We can start by assessing our own safety and what we are willing to risk. We can take stock of the privilege and power and gifts that we each have access to. We can follow our hearts to engage in the issues that speak to us personally. And most importantly, we can stay grounded by and connected with our community, where we can find the strength and support that we need to face the future. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
Good morning. So just for full disclosure, this is less than half of the youth ensemble. Over half of them are coincidentally out of town today. So we figured we would incorporate y'all in one of the pieces today. So the refrain is really easy. The words are, you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You'll be able to handle that much. And then we'll get into a call and response bit where they're gonna lead us, and I'll you'll figure it out. It'll be fine.
Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. Keep moving on. Live your put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with love.
I'm going to ask Leanne to extinguish our chalice while I say our benediction. So today we heard two stories about taking action, the ancient story of Esther and the more recent story of the little engine that could. Like Esther, the little blue engine wasn't the most powerful or important, but she was in the position to help. The little blue had gifts that she could use. She had her compassion for the children on the other side of the mountain. She had her wheels on the track. She had the connection and encouragement of the community of the toys. And she had her own determination to make a difference. May each of you see your unique gifts clearly so that you can find how you are perfectly placed for just such a time as this. Amen, and blessed be. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn 1028 in the Teal hymnal, The Fire of Commitment.